Here I am on day 2 of this 9 days of total fasting. And it's easy to forget the joy that comes from fasting. I can say that sadly because in the past, when I first discovered this approach to asceticism, and then I spent about a year implementing it quite rigorously, and I fell off from that level of care with both my fasting and my nutritional intake. Now perhaps I'm still, shall we say, at a more rigorous level of care with respect to my health and well-being than most people. Certainly not overweight, still do plenty of fasting. But what I had done that year when I first deeply dived into dry fasting, I did a bunch of 5-day dry fasts. And prior to that, I had really optimized my nutrition by an evaluation of lots of different scientific information, then experimenting in the laboratory of my own body, combining this with the fasting schedule given us by the church, and then adding to it dry fasting. It was a remarkable experience of health, but not only health, also joy. And so now that I'm coming back into this of necessity for spiritual reasons, I'm inspired to be more rigorous once again about the quality of what I eat and drink. Because if you want to know if there's one thing that makes it easier to fast, especially that makes it easier to fast from all food and all water, it's this: the quality of your nutrition. The higher quality, in other words, the more respect that you show for your body, which is the temple of the Holy Ghost. St. Basil the Great says only what is natural, nothing artificial, should be allowed in worship. And our bodies are temples. Our bodies are living sacrifices. The telos, the end of my body, is to be a temple for God the Holy Ghost. So the more reverence and respect that I show my body for Christ's sake, the easier it is to fast. Now let's hear from St. Ignatius Scholarius. He is a saint I love very much and is associated around the time of the fall of Constantinople. But what a remarkable saint he was, holding the line when almost no one could be found in Constantinople that still held to the true faith, and so they were conquered. But he was a great holy man in that late high medieval era. Here's what he said about total fasting, which is to say, no eating, no drinking. Here's what he says: love, hunger, and thirst for the sake of Christ. Notice, hunger and thirst. It means abstain from food, abstain from water. Love, hunger, and thirst for the sake of Christ. Once more, and now we'll finish the quote. Love, hunger, and thirst for the sake of Christ. Insofar as you pacify your body, so much more will you make your soul virtuous. God, who rewards thoughts, words, and deeds, will give good in return for even a small thing that you gladly suffer for his sake. St. Ignatius Scholarius. So this is all about love for Jesus Christ. And if we love Jesus Christ, we will love to suffer for him, because he suffered for us. And he desired to suffer for us. He took on a body because that's necessary in order for him to suffer for us, the ones he loves. And so I can say it is a joy for me to say I choose hunger today. I choose thirst today, which is to say I choose no food, I choose no water. And I'm so grateful to God for the way in which he draws near to me as I am willing to make a sacrifice that is in keeping with the holy tradition of the Church. You remember in the Beatitudes it says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled." Well, the Holy Fathers tell us that that means literally what it says, hunger and thirst, which is to say, deny yourself food, deny yourself water for Christ's sake. So I am honored to be able to take on this practice, which is excellent for the health of the body. It's one of the best things you can do for your overall well-being, but beyond that, it's meant to be a spiritual sacrifice of love, in order that, for love of Christ, I may be able to acquire the grace of God the Holy Ghost during this fast. Grant this, O Lord, or as they say in Greek, parasou Kyrie. And this is day 2. Hope to see you here tomorrow on day 3. Goodbye for now.